Imagine standing beneath a darkening sky thousands of years ago. The sun has just set, and as darkness spreads across the horizon, a brilliant object appears. It shines brighter than any star around it, capturing the attention of everyone who sees it. For ancient people, this mysterious light was more than just a celestial object. It was a source of wonder, mythology, and endless curiosity. Today we know this object as Venus, the second planet from the Sun and Earth's closest planetary neighbor. But the story of Venus is not simply the story of a planet, it is the story of humanity's growing understanding of the universe. From ancient civilizations, tracking its movements across the sky, to modern spacecraft revealing its hidden secrets, Venus has played a crucial role in the history of astronomy. Unlike many scientific discoveries, Venus was never discovered by a single person. Because it is one of the brightest objects visible in the night sky, humans have known about it since prehistoric times. Long before the invention of writing, people watched Venus appear and disappear in predictable patterns. Its brightness made it impossible to ignore. The earliest written records of Venus come from ancient Mesopotamia. More than 3,500 years ago, Babylonian astronomers carefully observed the planet and recorded its movements on clay tablets. These observations became known as the Venus tablets of Amisaduqa. They are among the oldest astronomical records ever discovered and demonstrate how advanced Babylonian astronomy had become. The Babylonians noticed that Venus followed a regular cycle. Sometimes it appeared in the eastern sky before sunrise. At other times, it appeared in the western sky after sunset. They carefully documented these appearances and used them to improve their calendars and predict important events. Their observations laid the foundation for future astronomical studies. The fascination with Venus was not limited to Mesopotamia. Ancient Egyptians also observed the brilliant object and associated it with divine powers. In Central America, the Maya became some of the most skilled observers of Venus in history. They tracked the planet's movements with astonishing accuracy and incorporated its cycles into their calendars, religious ceremonies, and political decisions. To many ancient cultures, Venus was not simply a planet. It was a celestial messenger, a symbol of power, and a link between the heavens and Earth. One of the greatest mysteries surrounding Venus involved its unusual appearance in the sky. Unlike most stars, Venus seemed to appear in two different forms. Sometimes it rose before the sun and shone brightly in the dawn sky. At other times, it appeared after sunset and dominated the evening horizon. Because of this behavior, many ancient civilizations believed they were observing two separate objects. The ancient Greeks gave different names to these appearances. The object visible before sunrise was called Phosphorus, meaning light bringer. The object visible after sunset was called Hesperus, meaning evening star. For centuries, people believed these were two different celestial bodies. Eventually, astronomers began to notice a pattern. The morning star and evening star never appeared at the same time. When one disappeared, the other eventually took its place. Through careful observation, they realized that both objects were actually the same planet. This discovery represented one of humanity's earliest major advances in astronomy. It demonstrated the importance of observation and evidence in understanding the natural world. As civilizations evolved, so did the names and stories associated with Venus. The Romans named the planet after Venus, their goddess of love, beauty, and fertility. The name reflected the planet's extraordinary brightness and beauty in the night sky. The choice was fitting. Venus is often the brightest object visible after the sun and moon. On clear nights, it can even cast faint shadows on the ground. Its dazzling appearance made it stand out among all the planets visible to the naked eye. The Roman name eventually became widely accepted and remains in use today. Interestingly, Venus is the only planet in our solar system named after a female deity. Despite centuries of observation, astronomers still knew very little about the true nature of Venus. They could track its movements and predict its appearances, but they had no idea what the planet actually looked like. Everything changed in the early 17th century with the invention of the telescope. In 1609, Italian astronomer Galileo Galilei began using an improved telescope to study the heavens. His observations would revolutionize humanity's understanding of the solar system. When Galileo turned his telescope toward Venus, he noticed something remarkable. The planet appeared to change shape over time. Sometimes it looked like a thin crescent. At other times, it appeared half illuminated. Occasionally, it looked nearly full. These changes became known as the phases of Venus. The discovery was extremely important because it provided strong evidence for the heliocentric model of the solar system proposed by Nicholas Copernicus. According to this model, the planets orbit the Sun rather than Earth. If Venus orbited Earth, the full range of phases observed by Galileo would be impossible. The fact that Venus displayed phases similar to those of the Moon strongly supported the idea that it orbited the Sun. This observation became one of the most powerful arguments against the long-standing belief that Earth was the center of the universe. Galileo's discovery marked a turning point in scientific history. Venus had become a key piece of evidence in humanity's quest to understand its place in the cosmos. Yet even with telescopes becoming more powerful, Venus remained mysterious. The planet was permanently hidden beneath a thick layer of bright clouds. Unlike Mars, whose surface features could be observed from Earth, Venus revealed almost nothing. Astronomers could see only a smooth, featureless disk. As a result, speculation flourished. Some scientists imagined vast oceans covering the surface. Others believed Venus might contain dense tropical forests and exotic forms of life. Because Venus is similar in size to Earth, many people assumed it might also possess a similar environment. During the 19th and early 20th centuries, Venus became a popular setting for science fiction stories. Writers imagined lush jungles, prehistoric creatures, and advanced civilizations hidden beneath its clouds. The truth, however, would prove far stranger than anyone expected. The beginning of the space age finally gave humanity the ability to investigate Venus directly. In 1962, NASA launched Mariner 2, the first successful spacecraft to fly past another planet. The mission marked a historic milestone in space exploration. As Mariner 2 approached Venus, it transmitted valuable scientific data back to Earth. The results surprised astronomers around the world. Venus was not a tropical paradise. Instead, it was incredibly hot. Measurements revealed temperatures far beyond what scientists had predicted. Further missions confirmed that Venus possessed one of the most extreme environments in the solar system. Throughout the 1960s, 1970s, and 1980s, both the United States and the Soviet Union sent numerous spacecraft to study Venus. The Soviet Venera missions achieved some of the most remarkable accomplishments in planetary exploration. Several Venera spacecraft successfully landed on the surface of Venus and transmitted photographs before being destroyed by the harsh conditions. These missions revealed a landscape unlike anything previously imagined. Venus is covered with volcanic plains, mountains, and immense lava flows. The atmosphere consists primarily of carbon dioxide and is surrounded by thick clouds of sulfuric acid. The atmospheric pressure at the surface is more than 90 times greater than that of Earth. A human standing on Venus would experience pressure comparable to being nearly 1 kilometer underwater on Earth. Surface temperatures average around 465 degrees Celsius, making Venus hotter than Mercury despite being farther from the Sun. Scientists eventually realized that Venus had experienced a runaway greenhouse effect. Heat became trapped within the atmosphere, causing temperatures to rise to extraordinary levels. This discovery transformed Venus into an important subject for climate research. By studying Venus, scientists hope to better understand how planetary climates evolve and how greenhouse gases influence atmospheric conditions. Today, Venus continues to fascinate researchers. Although it is often called Earth's sister planet because of its similar size and composition, the two worlds could not be more different. One supports life, oceans, and a stable climate. The other is a scorching world of crushing pressure and toxic clouds. Yet many mysteries remain. Scientists are still investigating whether Venus may once have possessed oceans and a more Earth-like environment billions of years ago. Future missions aim to study its atmosphere, geology, and climate in greater detail. The story of Venus is ultimately the story of human curiosity. From ancient Babylonian astronomers recording its movements on clay tablets, to modern spacecraft exploring its hostile surface, each generation has added another chapter to our understanding of this remarkable planet. The next time you see a brilliant light shining near sunrise or sunset, remember that you are looking at a world that has captivated humanity for thousands of years. Venus is more than just a bright object in the sky. It is a symbol of discovery, a witness to the evolution of science, and a reminder that even the most familiar objects can hold extraordinary secrets. Its story has been unfolding for millennia, and humanity is still uncovering new chapters today.